Hey everyone, this is your girl SolieSims and welcome back to another speed build video. This time around we're building in the world of Copperdale, and this is my first time building here. This is my first time recording a building here. I'm so excited, and I guess you could probably tell in my voice that I'm smiling. I'm just really happy to be back to building, to be back to creating, and yeah, if you hear any noises in the background in regards to vehicles, etc., it's because I'm at home. Obviously, that's where I do my recordings, but I've everywhere opened up because it's just really, really hot. It's been so hot since the beginning of spring in the northern hemisphere, although I'm in the Caribbean, so I'm actually on the equator, but it's just really, really hot. And yeah, I'm trying to keep cool, so I have everywhere opened up, so there's not much muting anything. So this little house that I built, it is for a family of four. It is mom and a dad and their two young children. There is an infant, and as well as maybe a first or second grader, literally I'm thinking like 6 or 7 years old. Two little boys that they have, and they have this little comfortable home. It's a little bit tight. It's a tight fit. It's a 2 bedroom, 1 bath house. Downstairs, the layout is that of the hallway, an open kitchen living area, and the more formal dining space in the back, which leads also to the outside, closer to the bridge. And upstairs, it's another long hallway again, and the 2 bedrooms with a bathroom. But you will see it all come together. This time around, though, instead of doing the interior first and then working on the outside like I did in my last my last video that I've since posted, I decided to try and focus on putting up all the doing much of the outside, the externals, before I actually moved in. What you will notice that is slightly different is that I have already placed down some of the items that I'm going to be using in regards to greenery and fences, etc. I compiled everything off to a side, so I have an idea of what it is that I'm going for in regards to fencing, etc. And the fence just starts a little bit further away from the property line, so there is room to put whatever else. Actually, I was actually thinking initially that I wanted to put in some planters, etc., outside, but I never got around to doing it, and I figured I did so much. I feel like the house feels really lived in and comfortable and cozy, and that if anybody else wants to play with this, they can go ahead and do whatever it is that they want in regards to the exterior. I just pushed back, I think, the lot. I built closer to the back end more than I did the front, so there's enough lawn space in the front and the sides, and with a little bit extra, as you can see, at least two tile spaces before the fence actually starts. Excuse me. So yeah, I did player test everything as well, just to make sure that everything worked. I was a little bit concerned with the narrow spaces, particularly in the hallway upstairs, and I wanted to make sure that I did the bathroom, that the bathroom was accessible as well, and it is. And I think the tiny living pack really went a long way in narrowing down the footprints of the Sims, so it made it easier, definitely. I also added, and it's so pretty at night, guys, and you will see I transition a lot through day and night just to be sure that there's adequate lighting outside at night, and the lighting matches what I want it to be, like the ambience I want portrayed inside as well, because I don't feel that it necessarily has to be like overly bright during the night, and there are some rooms that are just darker, like the bathroom, for example. I have more intimate setting in the formal dining room as well, like it's a little bit darker as well. So this family is very very family oriented, and you will see that even on the exterior, the front lawn and the side lawn, I focused on family stuff, like the little boy has his bicycle and his dad, I imagine he goes riding with his dad, so his dad has a bicycle on the other back porch as well, so I imagine that they go bike riding a lot. And I also put out a drawing table for him on the sideline as well. So he goes out there and he draws, etc. I do change the walkway. I felt, you will see, guys, that's another thing that I did. Like I did some of the landscaping off camera, but it just like minor details, more so because I felt like I wasn't sure, I wasn't happy with the coloring that I used for the landscaping. I forget the name, like the shading that I used. So I did change it, and I put like a stone walkway leading up to the house. You will see it eventually, it does switch over to that. And I did leave this paveway at the back here. This is like the back entrance here. So yeah, so eventually you will see what I did. This is it right here. The other thing that I did that was slightly different from how I would normally do my other builds is that I actually put up all the walls inside, and I put up the wallpaper. I did the flooring as well off camera, and then it was just an easy transition for me to move into the interior, and it cut off a lot of my indecisiveness as to what I wanted to put where and how I was going to do the layout of the space. So I do hope that that is something that you guys are okay with and you actually enjoy, because it was a lifesaver for me. Anyway, I really liked it, what I ended up doing with it. As you can see, I did place external bins closer to the back entrance, and in the front, what I was thinking, and you will see it will pop up again because I did some of the small landscaping stuff outside, is that I put stuff for the infant, like the play mat, and I put a chair and what was it the books or something I put outside. I imagine that if there is a nanny, or if the mom or dad, whoever is monitoring, like the young kids can be outside just relaxing out in the front yard, and then there's always somebody that can monitor them. And the reason why too that I added so many windows and lots of big windows is that I imagine that if you're outside, if you're a parent and you have your young kids, you want to be able to just glance out the window. If they're in the front, you'll be able to see them. If they're in the side yard, you'll be able to see them as well. So I did that. I cluttered up. Oh, before I say anything else, I want to say the mirrors. There is no CC in this build, but my mirrors are flagged as CC. The reason for this is because it's an override that I have. It's an override, I can't remember from who I got it, but it's free move of the mirrors, so that they can move around anywhere, but they automatically, because it's an override, it took over what is already in game, so it automatically became a flagged as CC. But if you do download this and you do put this in your game, it should just replace it with the regular one, and that's the only bit of CC. The mirrors would be flagged, the only pieces, but I used only what was actually in game, so it's not a case where it is a completely different mirror. It's the same style, etc., so it should replace it with something similar in the game. So yeah, so the hallway, basically, I love that wallpaper so much. So I tried to busy up this hall space. I imagine the little boy, his dad is into sports, so he's introducing him into that as well. And then there is so I put the entryway, like as soon as you walk in, there is the place to hang up your coat, put your bags down, etc. The mom leaves her like her keys, her phone, etc. On the side table in the hallway. And then directly to the right is the living room, and it's such a small, cozy, wonderful space. I was trying to go for a contemporary feel, but like more cluttered, etc. I still wish that if when we drop down the size of the like the center tables, because they tend to be pretty big, they're so huge. I wish that I didn't have to adjust, like, what I put where. I feel that I wish I didn't have to do that, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I feel at the end it worked out. I wanted this space, the living room, to be to feel lived in as well. So what I did is I added some pillows, I added some children's toys, some toddlers' toys as well. I imagine that the mom, or if maybe the mom probably does some knitting or crocheting, and or if there is a grand that comes to visit occasionally, that's something that she comes over and she does. Maybe she forgot her knitting basket the last time that she visited, so there's that there. So and then there's like the pop-up books, and then the little glasses. I love the new clutter kit for just for these little things. So I really really like this space. I felt that it was very very cozy, very comfortable, and it feels good. It feels good. I was really proud of myself. I'm not even gonna lie about it. I'm not someone who normally clutters, and I was just happy that I did, and it came out. To me, it turned out very well. But I'm more than happy to get feedback from you guys, and hear what it is that you guys think about this space. Because of course it is a small space, and I still wanted to make it flow into the kitchen. All I did to separate the space is add that little table at the back, like a side table at the back of the sofa, that sections of that area. And then I did put in an island for like a breakfast. Like, I guess they could probably sit there to have breakfast, the adults, I guess, or whoever, when the child gets older, I should say. But it's a fairly small kitchen, but it has lots of storage in that of the cabinets, etc. I tried to clutter up one portion of the corner of the kitchen area, the counter space, just to again make it look lived in and comfortable and cozy. I do remove the coffee pot from that location, and I put it into the formal dining room, simply because I wanted to make like a breakfast, not a breakfast nook, like a tea section. I'm not sure if there's a tea station, so I did put in the teapot and the coffee stuff over there. I didn't put in any cups. I don't think I did that in that section in the dining room, but I think I did everything else. And then of course you can see that I tucked away and that's one of the first things that I did, and I didn't even mention it at all, that I tucked away the washer and dryer in that little nook in there. At first I was thinking I was going to make this space into a pantry, but then I figured no, I kind of I kind of just want to make that into like a washing space. I wanted this build to feel like it was an actual build, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Like a family lives. And normally, like I say, whenever I build, it's always very clean, hardly ever any clutter. I don't do too much in that aspect. So I was just trying my hand out this time around to make it look like the house has actually been there for a while. So whilst I was building, I did run out of money occasionally, more than a few times actually, and I had to restock. So that is because my girl started off, well, the sim that I put on this lot to test started off with about maybe 35,000 simoleons, but I had to add another 10, and then eventually I added another 5. So roughly the house ended up being about like 45,000, overall, which I think is still pretty good for a house as stuffed as this one feels. It feels really full. It feels really, like they have their all their stuff everywhere and everything. I think it really came together, and it's worth it for the price. I think that's damn good for the price. But I feel like they have they're a little bit cozy in the space, and maybe it can go up until, maybe they can stay in this house a little bit longer, like maybe until the just before the children turn to teens, because I imagine that to have the teen and the child in that one space, it's going to be very cramped. There's not much privacy in that space at all. And even the right now, it's the two children share a bedroom, so I imagine that can be quite annoying as well, and can be a little bit troublesome and tricky, especially with a crying toddler, not toddler, infant. Although children do tend to sleep. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It is still in the game. But I really liked it. I really liked it. I went kind of neutral in the bathroom hair. I went with, just to add a little bit of color, I went with some green accents in the mats, the curtains, the sink. I did add quite a few things. I think my other favorite space, apart from the living room, which I absolutely loved, was the hallway, where I made it into like a activity corner for the children, where there's the bookshelf, there's the little table for the young one to do homework. There are benches right under the window so they can sit out there and read a book. Or I feel like the house, it's a comfortable space where children can be children, and it's not just a big showcase. It's of a home. It feels comfortable and welcoming. I think though, when I got to the parents' bedroom, which you will see in a little while, I was starting to get a little bit overwhelmed with what it is that I wanted to do. So I think I kind of kept the two bedrooms very, it's not, I think the two bedrooms are the least cluttered spaces, and maybe have the least expression of self of who I think the Sims are who live here. And yeah, I don't know, I feel like I put so much more personality in the other parts of the home, particularly the hallway, the exteriors in the yards, etc., and downstairs. As for skill building, I didn't do too many for skill building items here at all. I think I did just the knitting. I did the knitting stuff. I did creativity stuff for kids. And I think that's it. Oh, I think I put that the chesting and puzzles, etc. Oh, there's lots of games that I put out. So there's the chess table. There's lots of reading activities that they focus on. There is, I forgot to put in like a basketball or football. I think because that in my mind that the dad was so athletic, I wanted to put it in, but I completely forgot to in the end. But I did have some pieces of sports paraphernalia laying around, so I did put that in there. The long side balcony that leads out, and the views there are so amazing, it's spectacular. The long balcony that leads into the kitchen area, I put outside the puzzle table where they can sit there and do puzzles if they wish to, and I put some rocking chairs out there for the parents to sit. And I feel like that's something that they will always do as a family. They probably always do lots of activities together, and they're just a very loving family overall. That's what I think, that they're just very loving and supportive of each other. So they do a lot of that. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. It's not because it's late or anything. It's the middle of the day. It's just that I'm so tired. I'm not well. I'm home on sick leave, actually, recovering from an illness. I got the cold, and eventually it flared up my asthma. So I don't even know why I'm saying all of this. But well, this is the reason why that I'm home in the middle of the day, very damn hot day as well, feeling utterly miserable here. And yeah, so I played around a little bit because I stuffed a lot of the little boxes, etc., in this space, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do this space. And it was driving me crazy because everything wasn't coming together the way that I wanted it to come together. But and I was trying to figure out where I'm going to put stuff, because I wanted everything that I put out, I wanted it in there. And then the spaces were so small as it was. and stuff. So yeah, I played around with it. I also put this little monkey up, and I imagine that that's his little monkey called Mono that sleeps on his bed with him. And I imagine too that he really really wants to have a pet. He doesn't even care if it's a cat or a dog or whatever, but he's probably been pestering his parents, saying that he really really wants to have a pet. So who knows, maybe whoever plays in this house will say, you know what, okay, we're gonna go ahead and do it and get you a pet. Around that time, I realized that although I did put in a television for entertainment, there was no radio, so I did bring in a small radio. I think, yeah, I put it outside, I think. No. Yeah, I put it inside. I changed around. I put the fishbowl over here, and I put the smart radio up on the mantle. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed creating it, and I will see you again in the next one. Goodbye.